Hello, mate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you, Johnny. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. See you on the floor doing the podcast. I'm in my chair doing my podcast. So, living the dream and all that.
Well, it's all about the sound barrier.
It really is. It really is, mate. But at least the microphone seems to be working okay for now, that is. So let's get back on topic. Tonight's podcast episode is Look Who's Coming to Dinner, Part 2. This is our five famous guests that we would have for dinner, our virtual dinner parties of current famous people. I'm going to go through my list, if it's okay, mate, first, and then you can hit me with your list. So my five guests are Sophia Loren, Ricky Gervais, Boris Johnson, Nigella Lawson, Brian Cox. How about you?
Well, I've got Tim Peaks, Sarah Marquez, David Munoz, Sir David Attenborough, and the Clint Eastwood, the man with all the one lines.
Certainly is. I know you've been a fan for a while, so it didn't surprise me he made your list. So I'm going to kick off my virtual party. We've got Sophia Loren winning herself in. I'm been a fan of Sophia and a lover of all things Italy, especially in terms of the food, the history, and the country. So it was a bit of a no-brainer to have our Sophia over for the dinner party, and she adds that touch of Hollywood golden glamour to proceedings. So starters, lobster tails and spaghetti. Nothing but the best for Sophia, and also for my own love of Italian food. The reason I chose Sophia was for many reasons, really. Part of which she's otherwise one of the most famous actors, if not the most famous actress to ever come out of Italy. And she's somebody who's had international success, really, and was one of the most beautiful women in the world. So some context to Sophia. Born in 1932, she entered the world of film after winning a beauty contest at the age of 14. And she's won 6 David di Donatelli Awards for Best Actress, giving her a record as the woman who has won the most of these awards, and the Honorary Academy Award and 5 Special Golden Globes. She began her own family, and apparently she concentrated much more on this because she wanted to raise her own family, and filming took a back seat, which I don't think it ever quite recovered from in terms of the early pomp days and years that she was doing her acting career. So Sophia's rise hasn't always been one way. She did have an incident, actually, which is one of the reasons why I chose Sophia, because I kind of like my edgy, kind of controversial types as guests, as we know from the previous episodes of Look Who's Coming for Dinner. She was actually in 1982 convicted of tax evasion and given a 30-day sentence, but she only served 17 days. So for me, Sophia's most iconic films are The Fall of the Roman Empire and El Cid with Charlton Heston. So, my questions to Sophia at the dinner party would be, how did she feel from being such an iconic superstar, megastar, and the Queen of Italy to ending up in a grotty Italian jail? Would be my first question. And the second question, which male actor did she enjoy acting with the most? Was it our Charlton Heston? And lastly, does she have any regrets in stopping her film career from the 1970s onwards? And what does she think of Hollywood glamour today? So those are my questions for my first guest. What do you think, mate?
I think they're great questions, Johnny. Yeah, I suppose, family is very important to lots and lots of people out there. And the one thing that all these Hollywood actors and stars seem to make a habit of um, is that sometimes it doesn't always go to plan, does it, off stage? All those, hours and days and months away, leading ladies, leading men, affairs, whatever it might be. So I'm sure she just probably thought to herself, it's not worth it. Family is what it's all about. But Johnny, interestingly, I read that she had an affair with Cary Grant, which did end in bitterness. So um, I wonder whether actually as good as Charlton Heston was, that maybe Cary Grant was the man of. Oh, I don't know. I'm just getting tired.